Hello everyone, I am Mike C. Welcome back to the closers. Today we are back in PvZ Fusion. I've decided that it is time to become a great caretaker for our plants, and it's time to water them. You know, we get this stuff. I've never decided to use it just yet, so here we are. We're gonna see what this stuff does. Obviously, it's just to generate money. I know in PvZ 2 though, it generates like a plant food effect upon use and level. But this and PvZ 2 are two different games entirely. So I could not imagine how, like I said, these are probably just financials. But anyways, yes, I am post-op Mike. What's happening? Why is there music in the background? Well, I play without music, so I can put it in post-edit. That's why it's probably Terraria music. PvZ music is actually pretty awesome sauce, but what's it called? I decided to opt in for Terraria because that's all I had in the catalog. So yeah, as we walk into the solver, we're getting a new guy to face. He is a walnut zombie, but there's something weird about him. He's gray. Probably not having the greatest day in the world. Let's plant some more sunflowers. So, I like how this game has keeping it fresh, keeping it not too hard. There's tight spots, but the problem with all the Chinese mods is that they don't understand scaling quite right. They mostly scale the games where it gets either higher complexity of, oh, look at that, the bucket dropped, and now we get to put the bucket on plants, but as of recording, I've only been able to figure that this goes on a walnut, and it's not by any stroke of luck or genius. It is only the fact that the guy who came to me was a walnut. Hopefully in Chinese that means that it's only walnuts too, but I'll never know. Anyways, back to the video. The Chinese mods always make like really big and dramatic type zombies to fight, and it's just a war of exponential scale. So they outclass the original plants, and you know what? This one's fusion. You're meant to fuse the plants and whatnot, so it's understandable. But what I'm saying is, maybe, well, you're not gonna see it now in the mod, but it doesn't even encourage different playstyle. It's almost wholly just, oh, you have the normal zombie, now you got the more normal zombie, now they get tougher and whatnot. You know, you got these screen door zombies, right? What do you do to fight a screen door? You actually get something with penetration. That's the concept behind the screen door zombie, or you get something to lob something over it. We're not given those things in the game. What was also pretty good about PvZ was the fact that up until the roof levels, you could use the pea shooter, and that's still like kind of like a valid choice. That's like the second plant in the game. Now, I was gonna say the sunflower is the sunflower is the second plant, pea shooter's first. And the fact that you can go up to that far is pretty amazing. Not only that, but you see a lot of people. We're not talking about endgame builds, but oh yeah, so I cut the footage. This is where the level basically picks up. I decided to make a full front line. I am going down this route of walnut mines in the front. I got a hypno shroom from the care package, so I turned that into a nut, and the nut just generates on random chance. And we got pea shooter mines just to do an extra bit of damage. We got pea shooter chompers, or that's hopefully what we're going for. And the concept is that they have piercing, and also I believe they go through stuff quicker. Then the hypno nut generates something on a random chance. I don't think there's anything else to that. And then we got or Gatling peas, with obviously. And then the middle row, which I've started to develop, is more or less considered a, like the, how do I describe it? Like the random row, and that is kind of by what the channel, or not channel, the challenge lives or dies off of. And I do call these challenges, because this is like level, I wish that the level felt, or at least in English. You know, actually, in post right now, I just realized on the bottom left near the coins, I have these, like, bean things. I know in Plants vs. Zombies 2 Chinese edition that those are their version of the plant food, but I'm spectacularly amazed to figure out what that could possibly mean. What's it called? But yes, I believe this to be level 9, so next level is probably gonna be a boss level. Here comes a wave. I don't know. Oof. Yeah, so eventually we'll get to the point where the next main problem, well, I don't believe there's gonna be any main problems for this level. I believe this level is pretty solid. I don't know if we falter, but I know it's definitely downhill from here, because I don't think anybody surpassed the chopper line. But anyways, in Fusion, you gotta look at almost 3 different things. Sun production in the early game. If you lose it and you don't have a good story at any time, you're gonna just die. You gotta look at having plants with piercing, and then you gotta look to have some good, like, healthy stalwart plants, like a nice walnut that can be rehealed. So what I like to do is obviously double sunflower. Then I like to do pea shooter chomper, because I think that pea shooter chomper, well, there's 2 types of things with piercing. You got pea walnut, or you got pea shooter chomper. That's all I know right now. Those are the only 2 things I can reliably make. However, I like to have exploded nut. Not only does it get healed from explosion, but the explosion newspaper zombie, it eats up the explosive charge from it. So that's why I suggested. I know that guy's not on this level, but it is pretty relevant, I guess, in my own opinion. But yeah, as you can see, we have these beans stacking up in the bottom left. I'm noticing this post-production. I'll figure it out for the next video. And you can see our kind of setup is kind of falling in on itself. But yeah, hopefully this was the last wave, if not, like, close to it. But yeah, for piercing, I got the pea shooter chopper. And then what I like to do for my defense is I like to put up a walnut, like explosive walnut. With that being said, hopefully this is the end of the level. There we go. Got the trophy. Yeah, here we go. We got walnut zombie, or explosive walnut zombie, and explosive pea shooter. And now we've been gifted the tall nut seed. Now I don't know if this is like normal PvZ, because tall nut looks like it's an add-on for the normal walnut. I don't believe that's how it is in normal PvZ, you know what I mean? Might be. Might not be also. It's been a while. At some point I do wish I could read Chinese and understand what it's trying to tell me. But I'll learn another day. Immediately trying to hit on the same strategy. Obviously, I'm gonna try to do tall nuts with a mix of Explodo nuts. And in the beginning here, we're incredibly short on sun. Like, sun production is not coming good enough. We're having coordinates coming in. It's a little rough, to say the least, in the beginning. So, with that being put on the table, we are advancing. Yeah, it's a slower process definitely in the beginning, and it's a lot more, believe it or not, tense for me, the player. This is when I found out about the Tallnut actually being a upgrade, not its own thing. But what's it called? The best way I can explain this to you would have to be, I don't know the best defense at all. I do believe, though, this is one of the more adequate ones. This is the only way I know how to stall, because you got the stalling capabilities of Explodo Nut. I'm just gonna call it that, what that is. It kills like 3 basics, it slows them down, and if you know how PvZ spawning works, it's based off how many zombies you've killed and whatnot. It's a little bit complicated. That's what's refreshing about it, but there you go. I don't know why for the life of me it didn't work. But yeah, this is how I double it up. So you got chompers, which will kill anything. You have tall nuts, which will make sure no jumper zombie gets past. And now you will see in this level, I do have one problem, and it is those Explodo nut or not the Explodo nut zombie, it's the Explodo nut. The Explodo nut. Yeah, the Explodo nut zombie. I was right. Because for the explosive pea shooter zombie, I need an Explodo nut. You'll see right now. I was able to take that guy. With those Explodo nuts, I do not believe succumb to explosion damage. I think that's what that is. Not 100% sure. But also, this is very good to point out. We're just seeing Spikeweed, I believe is his name, in the lawn for the first time. I believe you would have already got him by now. No, you would have got him in the pull-ups, I think. But stably, I would like to get Spikeweed. In normal PvZ, my setup is normal. Snoopy, Spikeweed, a form of Walnut. I'm assuming this one is going to be Explodo Nut. A Chomper for insta-kill capabilities. I'm going to assume this one's Pea Shooter. And then, obviously, Sunfire. Now watch this. See how in the second top lane, our Walnut's just eating through that damage and actually getting healed. That's why I say it's like the only way to do it, in my opinion. But the problem is, you know, we get bad placement, our guy's dead. Also, the bucket can't go on the tall nuts. I don't know what nonsense that's all about. The bucket feels like it should be able to go on a lot more people than it really does. Also, if you didn't catch that, we got a watermelon pulp, in the second to top lane. So, we gave it a gift bag. Now it's a garlic. So, that's kind of unique. Oh yeah, check the top lane. This is what happens whenever those exploding at zombies go wild. It is absolutely devastating. It is almost impossible to come back from that. Not saying it is, just saying it's almost. Yeah. So we got through one, we're trying to rebuild. I don't know if I work on my sun farm, because at some point I think I just call it a day, because I see in the bottom 2 lanes we have exploding that zombies. Yeah, we carried up. And now, look, we have no nuts. I'm trying to make sure that pea shooter in the center does not come to fruition. This could be just detrimental. There we go, we got... Why would I ever do that? Look in the post. Oh, thank God. Not everything's lost, but most things are. There must be another way to counter it. It being the, pea shooter. Alright, so this is the end of the level. We're close to it. We just about lose everything. Yeah. That was not pretty. At all. Yeah. Everything lost. So this is the power play I come up with. I have 3 lanes to defend. Well, now 5. Now 3. I come up with a bolo nut, and I know I have no sun left. So now I try to figure out how to fight as long as possible. And it's almost over. And I'm just wishing and I'm just praying that I get, like, what's it called? Like an explosion from the gift box or whatever it's called. They ate out my sunflowers way too quickly, and that was the problem. Was there in the last lane. Yeah. So, what lanes could I have possibly held? I don't know. I was trying my... I went down kicking and screaming. All you need to know. It's not like I didn't want to. It was like, you know, I was trying to fight for as long as possible. This one was World 10, or Level 10, World 1. So, I kind of wanted to go down with more of a fight. But here I am. And there we go. There's the trophy. Alright, let's see what we got. Pretty easy. And that's the Sunshroom. Thank you guys for watching.